I don't know.
I think we're continuing. 12:40, we have Ekeberg scheduled against NHHI. One again. We're playing their third game here on the stream. They're lucky. I will be joined by a commentator called Terje. Do you know who that is?
Which is the guy that just played.
Oh.
With Bergen.
With Bergen.
Terje, the one that is really experienced, that has been playing for...
Number 42.
Maybe we can ask him how long he has been playing.
We can. All right, standing so far. Bergen 1, Ultimate Rainfall, they're ahead of Group 1. That's what I had time to see.
And if you want to guess how old Terje is...
Oh, huge, nice contest.
Hashtag Trøndisk.
Yes, very good, I think. Very well done, Edita. How old is Terje? We don't know. Whereabouts? We will find out. We will give you the answer at the end of next game.
Yes, Terje will tell you.
Terje will tell you.
And as this tournament is not restricted for juniors, he can be whatever. And it's not like it can be between 7 years old and 99 years old. So you can guess whatever you want. So
this is very exciting.
We can maybe talk a bit already about the next team.
Yeah, we can talk about the next team. And do you actually know anything about the next team? Because the player lists that we have from them is completely wrong. For example, number 1. Do you know him?
I don't know number 1. I don't know that much about the blue team or the black-blue team. But it's NHHI 1, right?
Right, that's correct.
So I just know that, as far as I know, I was playing against them last year, and they are a team. I don't know how good they are in like proper ultimate with rules and stuff, but last year they were just ruling the tournament because they are so good in catching. Because a lot of teams are getting spoiled by good throwers, so they are only catching the good throws. But if you're used to that people are bad throwers, you have to learn to catch. And this is what they were doing. So even if there were a lot of strange throws, there were a lot of good catches. So that was amazing.
Wow.
And Ekeberg is a quite experienced team. I don't think that they have anyone that is not experienced on their line.
Well, what's the bar for experienced?
Yeah, that depends a bit on whether you're in Norway or in somewhere else. In
Norway.
But I think all of their players have at least been playing for 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And that's a long time for frisbee players.
And international experienced?
It depends a bit on in which country. I guess, like for example in Sweden, the people that are in the national team.
Ekeberg eller Vite?
In Sweden, the people that are in the national team, they have been playing for 15 years or something. In Norway, a lot of people that are in the national team have been playing for 3 years.
That's so cool to like start a sport and 3 years later, national team.
Yeah.
That's
It's even the pancake girls, Sabel Tanna, that we just saw. I think she was in the national team after half a year of playing.
Wow.
But she has also been playing soccer, so she got the moves. So.
Yeah, I think that's what has impressed me the most. How you're able to move around the players, and run in the bakrom, as you call it in football.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's also a thing. If you're coming from football, you're usually fouling quite a lot compared to frisbee players. So this is one thing that you have to learn, not to foul.
Yeah.
Some people will never learn that, and some people are adjusting to it quite well.
All right. Do we know anything how the other games on the other field?
No, not that much.
Probably you can see some stuff online.
So one thing that is good to know about the white team, Ekeberg, that will be playing now, is that at Frisbee you always have a spirit contest. So you will have a spirit winner, which is the team that was playing in the nicest way, that is knowing the rules, that is good in discussions, that is like always nice and polite but fair.
Yeah.
And usually Ekeberg is winning this.
Oh.
Ekeberg has been winning that quite a lot.
Well, that's if you're an experienced player, you know, you know the rules, you know how to play by them, and you know what's worth arguing and what's not worth arguing.
It's still hard not to discuss when you think something was a foul, and you like. If you're in the game, you're getting quite. You want to win, and this is maybe So this is hard to find the balance to like you want to win, but you still want to be fair. And this is the nice thing about frisbee, that you can judge yourself. And apparently Ekeberg is doing really good in judging themselves because they are winning spirit.
So Ekeberg, I assume the next game will be slightly confusing to comment, because it's hard to tell who is who by the jersey numbers. As you might see on the stream, it's really hard to see the numbers on their back because it's only written in a very thin outlines, and the fill is the same color as the jersey, but you will see the number on the shorts.
But I guess that Terje that is coming to comment, I guess, he knows the names of the Ekeberg players at least, because they are, like I said, quite experienced and have been at a lot of Norwegian tournaments.
Yeah. Right, but Terje is not here, so you will have to stay here until he comes.
Yeah. So I know the names of most of the Ekeberg players. And especially when I get the list, I will have...
Let's find the list. All right, so NHH1, this is wrong. This is... Ekeberg players shouting the name of their club. Do you know if the Ekeberg play... the Ekeberg Sendeplateklubb? Yeah, right. So the name with the team in Norwegian. Yeah. Quite rare.
Yeah, Ekeberg was founded like about 2 years ago, and I think they joined a disc golf association that was called Ekeberg.
Oh. I'm looking for a pen. There's a pen here at some point.
If you have a pen at home, hashtag Trøndisk.
Let's see if we got any questions on the hashtag Trøndisk. No, we don't. Am I looking at the right one? Let's see if you've written Trøndisk with a C, which is wrong, but I will still check it. No, no result for hashtag Trønd. Let's see if you've written Trøndisk with an O instead of the Ö. Let's give it... Yeah, that's wrong.
So if you look at the Ekeberg players, they are really tall. It's a really tall team. Magnus, the one with the disc in the hand in the middle, he's like almost 2 meters. And if you see the guys around him, they are almost 2 meters as well. So they collected all the tall players apparently, and now they're playing. And it looks like Ekeberg is also coming out with a zone. They are not playing man-man, they are playing a zone.
Oh.
And there was a disc on the camera. And Magnus is having the disc.
First point.
First point for Ekeberg. Sandra was completely free in the end zone. There was probably a miscommunication, which is the problem if it's a quick turnover. That it's harder to communicate who's taking whom. Especially when the other team is playing a zone, because if you want to play man-man, you usually just take the one that took you. But if they're playing a zone, nobody took you as a man. So it's harder. But now NHHI is in offense. Do they have a nickname? It's a bit hard to say NHHI.
I saw a guy with a pea-colored shirt running in the camera. I think Terje is coming.
Oh, that could be true.
Hello, Mr. Terje.
So I will leave my spot now to Terje. Terje can probably also tell you all about his age and Ekeberg.
Yeah, we will not reveal his age yet.
Nice time.
Velkommen, Terje.
Hello, Frederick.
Hello.
Sorry for being a bit late. We had played the previous game, so we had to get through the spirit scores.
You have to get through the what?
The spirit scores.
Oh, the spirit scores. Can you tell anything about the spirit scores?
Yes. After each game, each team or both teams gathered for a spirit circle.
Yeah.
Where you talk.
That sounds so weird. The spirit circle.
Yeah. Well, it's to enforce the good nature of the play.
Yeah.
The fact that we have no referees, then the spirit scores are what underpins the self-refereeing in Ultimate Frisbee. And after you have done the spirit circle, each team gather and gives points in 5 categories.
In 5 categories?
Yes, for rules, knowledge and use, for fouls and body contact, for fair-mindedness, for communication, and the last one that I always keep forgetting.
What's the... is it a score from 1 to 10?
It's from 0 to 4.
0 to 4.
Yeah, so if there's nothing particular, that's usually a score of 2. And you have to show extra effort in one category or be particularly poor in a category to score a 1 or a 0 or a 4 or a 3 or a 4.
Okay. So can you tell anything about the scores you gave now, or is that confidential?
It will be published after the group stage. All the team spirit scores will be published. But there was a fair game, nothing in particular. So it's no spectacular spirit scores in that game we played.
So lots of 2s.
Lots of 2s.
Lots of 2s, and that was the last game that we just saw with Edita, which was BSI-studentene. No, BSI-studentene, Bergen studenter. Just say the name.
We're called Ultimate Thunder.
Ultimate Thunder.
Yeah. We're the second team of Bergen Student Idrettslag.
I heard that you were also considering calling yourselves Golden Shower.
Those rumors have not been confirmed or denied.
All right. Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right, but let's have a focus on the game. We're watching Ekeberg have already taken the lead. They're up 2-0.
This is actually the first time I have seen NHH play a tournament outside of Bergen.
Oh.
They typically just play on the brainy disc. So it's really nice that they have taken the step and come to Trøndisk.
Yeah, well, they won their first game.
They won their first game. Ekeberg is considerably harder. They're, I believe it was number 23, Mats.
Well, it says
It's
board
Range, passing to Ingrid, number 9 on Ekeberg for the score. Nice bladed throw. Bit risky, there were defenders in the area, and Ingrid is not the tallest player of Ekeberg.
Yeah, but apparently it worked with the high throw. What do you call them? The one that go highs and then cuts deep. Is that...
Those are called knives.
Knives,
yeah.
Right. So either it's a knife because the disc cuts through the air.
It cuts through the air.
Or, as I like to imagine, it's because when you throw a knife, you do the same thing as if you were a knife murderer and you would like go crazy, you know?
That would be a poor Jack the Ripper.
Yes. All right, but you are from Bergen. Can you tell us? We've been wondering. Player number 1 on NHH, on the Blues with the disc right now, and the awesome Norwegian cap.
Yeah.
Where is he from?
He's from Canada.
He's from Canada?
Yes, he's from Canada. He's been playing with NHH only this year.
All right, so it's not Andreas Bjelland.
It's not Andreas Bjelland.
No.
It's Antoine Fourier. So they're numbering...
He's Antoine Fourier.
Yeah.
All right, well, in our list, Antoine Fourier is number 4.
Yeah, they've mixed up their jerseys. We'll have to get a pen and correct the jerseys, I guess.
All right, I'm sorry to all Bergen fans that have been hearing me talking Canadian French about a guy that's clearly Norwegian, as I can hear right now. By the way, he says, guys. All right, do we have a pen? And we'll correct that in our list. I had a pen here earlier.
It's probably been swiped. That happens a lot in tournaments. So we got a small stoppage in play. It was a foul called.
Are they now arguing? I noticed that the NHH players, they They argued quite a lot in their last game against, who was it? TFK 2.
I did not see much of that game, but...
Are they an arguing team? Would they get less points on spirit scores? Or?
It might be, but one of the challenges that NHH has been facing with not playing outside of Bergen is that their practices is only against each other.
Yeah.
And they only had like exposure to other teams in Brainy Disc and
in what?
In Brainy Disc, it's a Bergen tournament.
Oh, right.
It's Bergen Rainy.
Oh, right.
Shortened to Brainy.
Ah, of course.
So that's in February every year. Usually it is the third.
Oh, well done, Antoine.
Yeah.
Antoine
in for the score.
Is he French-Canadian?
I believe he is French-Canadian. From the name.
From the name as well.
From the name, it seems that he would be French-Canadian. I have only played with him once. We had a scrimmage game a month ago. Just getting used to playing other teams before this tournament. But he's very well experienced, maybe a bit impatient, and that is one of his major weaknesses. He wants things to happen a bit too fast.
Nice.
Ball, catching the pole, centering the disc. We have a horizontal stack from Ekeberg. High disc to Magnus. Oh, just not able to come up with that tight defense from NHH.
Why is number 21, what's his name?
Marcus.
Marcus, why does he play with gloves? Is that like a goalkeeper thing?
Magnus.
Magnus?
Yes. It's not a goalkeeper thing, but it helps getting a good grip on the disc.
And that's allowed?
It is allowed. It's more useful outside, in my opinion.
So they're counting there?
Yeah. Gloves are more useful outside because it helps keep your fingers a bit warmer if it's cold. And if there's moisture or humidity on the disc, it helps with the grip. And there is able to pull in the disc for a score. Another high floating pass across the field.
By Magnus, was that?
Yes, and Heine was passing the disc, number 10.
So Magnus, he says a lot about himself in our little list. He says, still struggling from Friday's night's birthday train up to Trondheim, which was yesterday, I guess. Better at commentating than playing. Slowly accepting his fate that he has to play indoor 6 months of the year. Okay, that's also a thing to say. Blessed by a wonderful team and the opportunity to play 20 international tournaments in a year. He was voted most attractive ultimate bachelor by Ulti World early in 2017, but rumor has it that he has got a new friend. I didn't understand most of this.
Well, he had a birthday on Friday, so they had a party on the train from Oslo up to Trondheim. And for those who came early, they could see half the Ekeberg team sleeping in the hallway.
Oh. So they came with a night train tonight, or last night. Wow. That's a crappy ride.
Well, it's a long ride.
It's a long ride, and especially if you're as tall as some of the Ekeberg players here or myself. Yeah. It's difficult to sleep.
I can only imagine. I think some had a nice high floater to Ingrid.
Well done.
Well done for the score. Score is now up to 5-2 to Ekeberg.
So who do you think will win the tournament? Do you think it will be Ekeberg or maybe Trondheim Frisbeeklubb or maybe Pancake?
Pancake are the reigning champions. We played their first team. They are usually slow starters, but today they have been starting well in all their games. So they are a lethal team unless they turn it around and will be weak finishers. because that will punish them because they have got some strong teams coming up.
Yeah.
Trondheim, always a force to be reckoned with. They have finished 2.
Oh, up.
Oh,
You lose the ball.
almost got it.
Counter.
Board to Ola. Looking for a pass. Oh, misunderstanding
Or just a bad throw.
just a bad throw maybe. I think he tried a lefty flick there. Resets the stall. Ekeberg is playing a zone. Now the key to breaking a zone is to find the places where there are no defenders and move in for the open pass. Because when you play a zone defense, instead of marking a person, you mark a part of the field, and that usually leaves options for the offense. Oh. Ole Christian throwing the disc away yet again. NHH just playing the disc back and forth, tiring out the defense, playing over Ole Christian, transitioning to an end zone defense. You'll see Ekeberg is now lining up 3 players in front of the end zone,
Yeah.
forming a wall. The object here is to make it hard to find the person behind the defenders to play the disc to. One of the keys to play against the wall is to get the disc moving too fast for the defense
Oh no.
to keep up. So if that disc had been an actual backhand, that would have been an easy score.
But they didn't score, and they're down 5-2.
Yes. NHH now setting up the same zone wall.
There are only 2 players in the wall now, though. No, 3.
There are 3 players.
Oh yeah, but the one was not
Yeah.
on the line. What do you call the yellow and black line? What was that?
That is the goal line or the end zone line.
End zone line, yeah.
And an overhead into Grøtterød for the score.
Right, well done.
Grøtterød.
He gets claps from his teammates while other people on the tribune are washing and eating their big bite sandwiches.
That is today's sneaky product placement.
Today's sneaky product placement. I see a lot of you with sandwiches here. Are you?
Yeah, it's provided for the tournament, the lunch.
Really?
Yeah, it's part of the players' fee, includes lunch on both days.
Does that count for the commentators as well?
Maybe you'll have to ask Eivind, but I'm sure we can rustle up some grub for the fancy commentators. Oh, nice play down the open side by NHH.
Yeah, oh.
And a big spike of the disc.
Is that? Are you allowed to do that? It just feels like it's a sort of a, testosterone outbreak that is not appreciated in my impression of Ultimate Frisbee.
Well, it's a way to fire up your team, getting your team moving, getting the energy into the game. So it can help, but if you're leading hugely, if you're up 7-2 and you start spiking the disc as the leading team, then that is frowned upon as bad spirit.
So that's the thing, to throw the disc and spike it in the ground.
Yeah.
As a volleyball player.
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't seen that. It's the first time I've seen that today.
Yeah, it's not the most common thing, but it can be really effective getting your team fired up. Ekeberg with an isolation play. And a long run by Alex. Almost running into Antoine on the sideline. Just not able to grab that disc on the long run. Play down the line. Ekeberg with a leaky zone. And a nice play into the end zone.
Is that Sindre Göran? or is it someone else? You know.
I will have to get somebody to correct the jersey numbers on this.
So we repeat in our list of the NHHI players, we clearly had some mix-up with names and numbers, so we might have been calling out the wrong numbers for the past 2 games we've seen them play. We apologize to any Berganian fans.
Berganian, actually.
Berganian. That's long.
That is pulled out.
You can't see that, but there you can see the disc falling on the screen.
So a new rule this year is that the brick mark is moved 4 meters in front of the end zone.
The brick mark is where you start.
Yeah, if the disc goes out on the pole, you're allowed to take it 4 meters in front of the end zone. Previous years, you were only allowed to take it to the front of the end zone.
Oh.
And that led to a few teams intentionally pulling the disc out so that they were able to set up the defense with the attacking team stuck on the front of their own end zone. So to combat that, we made the brick mark 4 meters in front of the end zone, giving the attacking team or the defending team less of an advantage for pulling the disc out.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a worthwhile tactic.
Is this something you've done only in Norway or in the international community?
This is a rule that is... there are some special rules for Norway indoor. This is one of them. Also, there was an addition coming late to the rules. So you're not allowed to skip jump.
Is that jumping? And
yeah, if you throw the disc on the ground and it flies out more than 2 meters over the back of the end zone, which is possible, then they can also take it to the brick mark. Normally, if you pull and the disc lands inside and slides out, you have to start from where it left the field of play.
Okay.
It's hard when you don't have anything to draw on the screen, so...
You'll have to show us whenever it happens.
Yes. That was a nice play down the line from Ole Christian to Ingrid. Ingrid is lethal on those cuts in the end zone. She is so fast and a sure grabber.
Do we have any fun facts about Ingrid? She's clearly a star player. She says she's probably the only person ever to represent Norway in both World Championship in Ultimate Frisbee and, well, you can just guess at home what the other thing she's represented Norway in. I'm probably sure you're wrong because she's represented Norway in the Chemistry Olympiads. So, smart and sporty. That's it's a good characteristic.
Yeah.
A sought-after double characteristic. Antoine Fourier catches the pull.
Looking for options downfield. Oh, a bit of a stutter step, trying to read that disc, so he was not able to get to it. NHS setting up a leaky zone. That's why you have Alta players sitting next to you. Thanks, mate.
No. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out!
What were they arguing about now?
Antoine claimed that she couldn't start the soul count until he had checked in the disc. When you're defending the person with the disc, you do what is called a stall count.
Yeah.
So you go up, and when you're within 3 meters, you can start stalling, and then you count from 1 to 8 with at least 1 second in between each number. Antoine here argued that Ingrid could not start the stall count until he had checked in the disc.
Which is when he smacks the disc in there. That's what you can see he does all the time, the guy with the Norwegian cap.
Yeah.
He
The
smacks
thing is,
the ball.
when the disc goes out on the sideline, you don't need to check the disc into play.
Wow.
But as soon as you establish a pivot point with your foot, then the person can start the stall count. Alex with the disc, looking for options downfield, swinging the disc. Ekeberg's got the wall to face. Got two players in the end zone, but their cuts from the end zone are not synchronized, so it's still quite easy for NHH to
Defend.
clog up their play. So they're just swinging the disc between their handlers, not finding any options into the end zone. And there NHH was successful in forcing a turn. Alex was not able to make that pass.
Oh.
NHH is also faced with a zone defense. Gets the disc centered. That's always a... Oh, good defense by number 10, Heine. And punches it into to Magnus for the score. Up 9-5 with 2 minutes left to play. I'm sorry.
7
That
minutes.
is 7 minutes left to play.
Yeah, they're playing 30-minute
Yes.
games. So before you came here with Edita, we played a little game. We tried to guess your age, and we encouraged the audience to guess as well. So far, we have received no guesses, but we said we will let you know by the end of this game.
Yeah. That's always
So
fun.
if you remember player number 42, right?
42.
42 from the BSI that played
Second
last
team.
time with the P yellow jerseys.
Golden.
Golden yellow, I'm sorry. The golden yellow jerseys. Yeah. So how long have you been playing?
I started playing Ultimate in 2011 was my first tournament. It was live wire in Hønefoss, which is a hat tournament that Adrian used to organize there. And I've been playing for BSI ever since. So it's been a couple of years.
Was that a good pull?
That was an excellent pull. It left the handler inside his own end zone, and the defense was able to get down before he was able to make a pass. So that was an excellent pull.
All right, so 10-5. Is that normal to be 5 points behind and then catch up? Is that wall?
It has happened. We once lost a 6-1 lead to Pancake in a tournament. So if you're off to a slow start, then you're able to catch up.
Yeah.
But this late in the game, it will be harder and harder.
Yeah, especially since Ekeberg clearly continues keeping on playing well. Was that a knife that we just saw?
I was busy looking elsewhere on the field, so I didn't get the scoring play.
I'm telling you, it was a knife.
Then it was a knife.
I don't know. I'm beginning to be quite the experienced frisbee commentator. It's my 5th game.
Yeah. So Ole Christian pulls the disc, lands outside. Antoine will take it to the brick mark. Directing his team. He needs a second handler.
He's like dictating his team.
Yes, and as the most experienced player, then that is one of his.
Well done.
That was not a safe pass, but well executed.
What
And
made it?
Sylvia, well, it was floaty. The defender did have a chance to get to it.
Yeah.
He just mistimed the jump.
What should they have done for a better, safer pass?
Well, you don't want to throw a pass that hangs for a long time unless your own player is running into the disc. When throwing to a stationary player, you want the disc to be as short a time as possible in the air. Unless it's the pull. NHH is setting up a zone that gives half the field to Ekeberg right off their own end zone. Ole Christian wanting the disc in the end zone, not getting it. And Alex pulls away a defender, opening for Ole Christian. And that was that the 13th point?
No, it was 12.
12 point.
12 points, so 1 point left until the end of the game, or 3 minutes left.
Yes.
Time will show.
But Ekeberg has safely got this game secured. There's no way NHH will score 5 points required for a tie-break in the remaining 3 minutes.
Are you so sure that you will eat your own...
I will eat my own baguette if they do that.
If you... All right, so if they don't...
Then I will still eat my baguette.
Okay. You will eat the baguette with the wrapping, with the wrap.
Yes.
If
they're able
this
to,
does not go...
yeah. If Ekeberg loses this, then I will eat the baguette wrapper on camera.
Could you stretch as far as saying if it goes to a tie-break, you will eat your baguette with the wrap?
I will use half the wrap.
Half the wrap, okay.
Half the wrap.
Well done. So, keeping our fingers crossed for how many more points?
Well, they will need to get to 10 points before the buzzer.
All right.
And then score the 11th after the buzzer.
Come on, NHH. 3 more points.
In 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
How much time do you need for 3 points?
Well, you can score a point in 7 seconds. Stalling, 1, 2, 3, throw across the field.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, goal. But first you will need to get the disc from Ekeberg in order to do that. And you'll need to get the disc from Ekeberg 3 times.
Oh, that's nice.
And a nice bladey throw to Ole Christian.
What do you call it? Bladey?
Yes, that was a bladey throw.
A bladey throw.
Yes. Knives are bladey.
All right.
So congratulations to Ekeberg for winning 13-7 against NHH1. Well-spirited game. There were not many calls on the field, and also good effort from both teams. So now I will go eat my baguette without the wrapper.
But before you leave, you have to reveal something to us, Terje. Or we can keep the contest running, as nobody has guessed so far. Maybe because people really don't care.
That might be. I'm one of the few that was still born in the 70s to play on this tournament.
You're still born in the 70s.
Yes.
Wow. You were born at the same time as the sport.
No, not that early.
Oh.
I was born in 1979.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I'm truly one of the veterans around here. Well, I need to go warm up for our next game.
Good luck. Who's your next game against?
Our next game